how to diagnose an Amazon listing. So, one of the main things I do as an SEO professional optimizing Amazon listings is people come to me and they say, "What's wrong with my listing? How can we improve sales?" So, this video is going to be the way that I go through your listing and understand what the problem is here. So, why don't we do liquid hydration, since that's on my main page here. Not liquid. Let's see, hydration packets. Those are big right now. But IV really holding the top spot there. So to understand how to diagnose a listing, we need to understand the sales funnel that's going on here. So in marketing, we have a lot of different funnels, and we can understand Amazon as a funnel in the same way. If you were to look at SEO just purely as a funnel, the top of the funnel would be the impression. So that would be someone searched for your product and they saw it, but they didn't click on it. Now, you're not going to get this information organically. So if you want impression information, the best thing to do is to run PPC ads, and then you can know which search terms people type and really don't usually click on your product. You can get an idea why that might be. So the top of the funnel is the impression. Did they look at my product and not click on it? The second part of the funnel is the click. So that would be they actually were enticed enough to click on my product. The third part of the funnel is the session. So we actually achieved someone who looked at our page. Again, you're not going to get at this information anywhere on Amazon, really. It's something that you could get if you ran your own Shopify site. You could get this information on your Shopify site. But basically, Amazon is going to report a bounce and an actual session in the same way. Now, you're going to see in your business reports, if you go down to Buy ASIN, detail page, sales, and traffic, this is almost always the page that we're going to be looking at. You have sessions and you have page views. So what's the difference? Sessions is smaller always. Sessions is the number of unique people. And then page views is the amount of times that everybody visited your page. So you can see on this product, like for this SKU, people are pretty much on average visiting the page twice before they buy. So that's really good information for us. And this is one thing that I pointed out when I audited this account. So the very last part of the funnel there is the sale. It's the add to cart. And in most cases, we're going to add to cart before we buy. So, obviously someone needs to buy the product for us to consider that a conversion. But let's kind of go back here. So if I'm diagnosing this listing, if I'm hired to diagnose this, I'm going to be looking at how are we showing up on the search page? And that could be main image. So that's going to have an effect. Also, what's in the title? Looking at this, I really don't know how many packets come in one pack by looking at the picture. That's a big deal. None of these are doing that, actually, which is surprising. This, you can kind of see it, 18 packets, but this category could be better optimized if the number of packets in the pack were larger. I can kind of see now, like 16 really tiny, but I can see it down here, pack of 16. So my choice would probably be to put this in the title because I don't think many customers have trained eyes like I do. You can also see that every competitor is measuring differently, which is bad. It's making it so it's really hard to make a price comparison. So it looks like these two did it the same way. So 0.34 ounce pack of 18, 0.56 ounce pack of 16. So this you actually get more because the packets are larger. So I can make a pretty quick comparison. Again, there's a little more expensive, so it's probably kind of the same value. At this one, I can't tell how many ounces are in a packet. I don't know if there's a standard size packet. Just looking at the packet, it looks like it's the same size as this one. And these two have done it the same way. So these are back-end settings, and it's possible that they're all in different categories. So like this one's in vitamin C supplements, so probably their back end looks different. The settings that they have are different, which is why it's important to mostly be in the same category, same subcategory as your competitors in most cases. So looking at this, how can I understand the click-through rate? I wouldn't unless I had PPC, but I can definitely understand how am I showing up on the search page. And I might tell this person if they were my client, I'd like to see pack of 16 in the title. That way, you're not missing any click-through, and that way you're not getting any bounces as well. So if someone goes like, oh, this is 16, I wanted 18, right? That's a bounce. So we just want to make sure that everyone that clicks on our page wants to buy the product and vice versa. We don't get anyone on the page that really is not our customer for any reason. If they want a different flavor, if they want a different size, if they want different ingredients, we do our best to give as much information as possible so that the only people that click on our listing really are our customers. All right, next part of our funnel is the click. Let's say that we got the click. What I want to understand now is what are some things that the customer needs to know immediately, and what may be frustrating them or making them bounce off the page, or essentially just not stay around, look around, and really make a purchase decision. The number one way that I do this is always the answered questions, because I want to go, okay, people are reading through these bullet points and they're reading the reviews probably. They may even be going directly to the reviews, which I do a lot of the time when I'm buying on Amazon. I don't know if that's just me. I want to know what people ask. I really do not like sweet tasting water. Is the lemon one sweet tasting like lemonade? Are we doing a good job of saying whether or not we have sweetener? Doesn't seem like in the title. Strawberry powder mix. So I must be on the strawberry listing. These aren't named very, oh, okay. These are pack sizes. So this is only the strawberry flavor. So it's interesting someone asked about the lemonade. We can still ask about the strawberry. Does this have sweetener? Nice video. Not super informational.
What's going on, guys?
So maybe if I watch that longer video, I could find out. But huge problem. I can't see the back of the pack. So number one, I don't know what the components are of this hydration powder. And I also don't know the sweetness level. So I'm going to have to pour through these. Okay, I've got some ingredients and I know that it's soy-free, gluten-free, dairy-free. What if it has stevia and I'm allergic to it or something? Very important for me to know that. So that's a big mistake. I see big mistakes like this on big companies usually. It is the smaller brands that pay more attention to their listings, honestly, that don't make these type of mistakes. And it tends to be just like they've got big revenue. They don't even notice. They don't even pay attention. And I'm surprised that they don't have someone behind the scenes. It's like, hey, show a nutrition facts label. You will up your conversion rate by 10%. And it probably is equivalent to, millions of dollars, maybe. Depends on how well you're doing. This is number one in sports and nutrition, endurance and energy supplements. So they are at the top of the hydration packets for sure. I see them all over Costco. So could be millions of dollars you left on the table just because you didn't show the back of your bag. So huge pet peeve for me. If you are interested in learning more about how to optimize listing images on Amazon, you can check my video, Amazon listing images, in-depth tips and tricks, and that should give you some more direction on some areas you might be missing that are low-hanging fruit for your optimization. So, because I'm impatient, I'm just going to search for sweet. and I didn't get anything in the bullet points. Now, the A plus page is going to show at the top on mobile. So this comes into when we build A plus pages, we have to optimize for mobile, knowing that this shows first. So it's kind of an interesting thing about A plus pages. This has been professionally done. It's beautiful. They are not answering my sweetness question. So again, if this was my client, I would have immediately said, you're hurting your conversion rate because you're not answering this question. Someone's have to pour through your listing and can't find it. I'm not going to waste any more time looking for it right now. Looks like they answered it here. Do they expire? If so, what's the shelf life? Nice. So that could be easily added to our bullet points, shelf life of 2 years. And now we've probably increased our conversion rate if we just answer like the four top questions, because these get voted up. So if more people are asking them, they tend to float to the top. Can this be mixed? You mix it in hot water, more like tea. No, it doesn't need, you can mix it in cold water. What's the limit for a day? So those are a little bit less helpful, but those top two were really helpful. And maybe these are coming up in the reviews. Low sugar, apparently 11 grams of sugar per packet. Okay, makes more sense why they didn't want to show the nutrition facts. But again, we don't want to hide that information, and we might even put it in the title. If I was in charge of the SEO, I would do that. And yeah, I'm going to hurt my click-through rate because I'm not going to appeal to customers that don't want sugar. I would then counter that by writing in the bullet points, sugar is actually a vital part of hydration. That's why it was in all of the original hydration products like Gatorade. I've actually worked in liquid hydration, so I know about that. So just good research there. But this is a poor funnel, and it's not uncommon to find these. So yeah, that's the next step, is understanding like, how do we keep this person on the page? And we do that informationally. So we make sure that they're not getting frustrated to find the information that they need, and we present it in a really beautiful way. So they have really beautiful photography. They haven't had any image optimization, so they haven't thought about what call outs they want to put here, what information. So we're quite lacking in information. All the images aren't filled out, so we need 3 more images here in addition to the video. There's a bunch of videos, so I bet you what they did is they just put up all the videos to make up for the lack of work on their graphic design. So once we know we've got this person, they're not bouncing off the page for some easy reason, like they couldn't read the nutrition facts, so they just left, right? They read our reviews and they saw a few 1-star reviews, and we didn't refute them in the bullet points. So they just bounced off the page. So the next thing is I need to understand what makes these products convert, and that's competitor research. That's visiting the other pages and going, okay, we know that we're competitively priced because the amount of powder that we offer in a packet is decent compared to the price, and the number of packets we offer. The ingredients are similar. We know that we have a sore spot with our sugar, so we actually want to state that up front so that we don't get any customers that aren't looking for sugar. Again, not using anything that would be bringing customers in that we don't want, like keto friendly or low carb or anything like that, low sugar. We would not want to target any of that SEO. So I've worked in liquid hydration or in hydration packets before, so I happen to know that is the reasonableness of the price. So giving really easy measurements of the amount that you get, talking about the flavor. That includes the sweetness, but also just how does it taste? Because these are a little bit salty, so just kind of preparing your customer for that. the ingredients and the type of ingredient here. So it is vitamin B3, B6, but it can be helpful to say, like, if you have ascorbic acid or sodium ascorbate, which is the buffered vitamin C, that also shows um, shows a professionalism. It shows a knowledge of your ingredients. So I mean, this is a really scientific product. Look at the packaging. So we should sound scientific in our writing. They're doing an okay job, but kind of going through here, what is the most important thing that they need to know about this product is probably this bullet point. So I probably would have put that up top. Then I might have talked more about the science. Um, these two should be combined. The last bullet point is always either a branding statement or a satisfaction guarantee. So this is kind of, this is not a good use of real estate. So I will make another video about in-depth SEO on a listing. Essentially, we're quickly diagnosing what our competitors are offering, what we're offering, and basically what do we need to talk about in order. Usually the third bullet point is a purity statement. So gluten-free, soy-free, sugar-free, whatever that is, cruelty-free. The bullet point number 4 is either a gifting statement or it is inspiring ways to use the product. You could use this product in different ways. You could mix it into different places. Maybe not just water, maybe mix it into lemonade or something. That's probably what I would choose for this. And then once we have given enough information and someone has scrolled down on the page, again, on mobile, this is up top. So you have to remember that. What are we not offering? Why are you falling off the page? Why are you in sponsored products? Maybe you're just not swayed. You don't think that we're scientific enough. Maybe we don't know what we're talking about. So the number one reason that we would have A plus would be Amazon's internal scoring. The second reason would be to be eye-catching. I always try to tell my clients that this should expand on the information. So this should give a preview of what we're going to be selling you. It should then summarize, and then it should expand on the information. And we're summarizing because this may be the first thing someone is seeing on their mobile. So we need to like quickly give an overview of the information. And I wish I had seen this in their listing images. This is really nice. It's giving good information. Again, they're hiding their sugar and they shouldn't. They're really hiding the fact that they have sugar and it shows badly on them versus we're going to tell you right up front that we have sugar and here's why it's better. This is why we added it for a reason, which is they added it for a reason because they could go sugar-free easily. So probably the people that are working on all of this had nothing to do with creating the product, and they're so far removed from the reasoning behind it that it's been lost, which happens with big companies. So this is great A plus. It is a mixture of white and banners. It is professionally done. So their A plus is beautiful. This should be up top. This is a huge deal. This should be on the very bottom. But the idea is to be eye-catching so someone doesn't fall off the page, summarize, and then expand on the information. And that's exactly what they've done. And they've done it in a beautiful way. So if everything is done well here, we would get a conversion. And what that looks like in your business reports is unit session percentage. That is the percentage of people who landed on the page to who bought. Now, if you have PPC advertising, you can really break this funnel down. So you can go, okay, click through to impression, right? And you can go, okay, for every keyword that I want to target, here is the impression to the click through. And then you can say, okay, click through to purchase. And you can say, okay, for everybody that clicked, really, I didn't get a lot of people purchasing on these particular terms. This report, just organic business reports, is very lacking in information. You're just getting all of the information. So it is organic and PPC. And because of that, because we have organic and we have PPC, we can actually combine reports and do a what percentage of my sales were from PPC, what percentage of my sales were from organic, to some extent, what percentage of my traffic was from PPC and what percentage of my traffic was organic. Over time, we can track that. There's a really cool report that I want to make, and I keep telling the seller apps that consult with me that I want this keyword report, and nobody has made it. So I'm going to make another video on like exactly what I want and hope that somebody in the industry makes it. But basically, we need better ways to drill down on individual keywords, because this is just a pool. This is just telling you what's going on for your entire product. And by the way, 88%, that is a stupid high unit session percentage. And this is a repeat purchase product. So this product is the introductory thing, and then this is like the refill. So they're getting 88% conversion on their refill, which is not a surprise, but it's very unusual to see 88% here. You probably, on a good day, you'll see 30%. I've seen as high as 50%. That's probably the best that I've ever seen on a product that's not like a refill. So if you're between 15 and 30%, that's a good level. If you're below 15%, there's usually something wrong. And you want to diagnose your funnel, number one, by sessions, and number two, by unit session percentage. So how much traffic did we get? If I get this as a listing to work on, I'm immediately going to look at, okay, how much traffic if I have access to your backend? Okay, traffic, I mean, it's 5,000. That's not too bad. So what's the unit session percentage? Okay, it's kind of low. So clearly we're getting enough traffic and we're not getting enough conversion. So how can we increase your conversion rate? Maybe you're just targeting the wrong terms. If Liquid IV was targeting low carb hydration packets, you can see how their conversion would be bad. It doesn't mean that they have a bad listing. It means that they're targeting the wrong SEO. And that's why it's so important to get the right SEO person who understands marketing on Amazon versus someone who can just do keyword research, because keyword placement is so important. And where we place your keywords on the listing is really a make or break. So anything else that I want to say there? There's really cool metrics that you can get in PPC for total units, for ACOS. You can calculate different rows. And if you're a spreadsheet lover, there's all kinds of cool metrics that you will have access to that you really don't have access to in this organic business reports. These are becoming a moot point, and I am almost having to teach really old sellers like what these look like, and I'm really surprised nobody looks at them even. But it is it's not so surprising, I suppose, because a lot of people are just running PPC and just looking at their PPC, but they are really missing this organic picture. So having a tool that can tell you at least what search terms you're ranking for. So if I look at Liquid IV and I see that the sessions are really low, I'm going to do two things. I'm going to pull up Helium 10 and I'm going to do a reverse ASIN search so that I can see what they are ranking 1, 2, or 3 for, and to some extent 4. We know from brand analytics that if you don't rank number 1, 2, 3, or 4, you're probably not getting significant traffic from that term unless you're running PPC. So just as an organic picture, I want to understand kind of like what you're 1, 2, or 3 for, and they're 1 for a bunch of things. So they probably have really good traffic to this listing. And what they are ranking for is going to tell me a lot about what they convert for. So I don't really need to look at their PPC to know that they convert well for hydration multiplier. I think that's their word. So that's almost a branded keyword. hydration liquid. Looking at all these, I will know that the algorithm has already tested them on these and that they converted well. And they won't stay in these ranking spots if they don't convert well for very long. Again, the CPR, they have to sell 49 units in 8 days to stay on number one for hydration multiplier. That's what CPR means. So liquid IV, again, not surprising, that's their own brand. So if this was not giving me good information or I wanted to drill down a little bit more, I would enter this ASIN into the brand analytics ASIN checker, and that would tell me what they are ranking for, and if they're spot number 1, 2, or 3, what percentage of conversion they get, what percentage of click through, and that can be a really nice way to check. Again, if there's not enough data here, if the sessions are really low and I search in Cerebro and I get like very few words here, or if I get very little sales history, I'm going to know that there's just no sales velocity there. And then I'm going to tell them to run ads, or I'm going to tell them to send traffic from off of Amazon. But if the sessions are good, then it's a conversion problem. And the conversion problem can be a lot of things. The things that I detailed here are just the most probably important. There are a dozen other things in a dozen other categories. So it really does take someone with a lot of experience to do these. And I hope that this was a really good basic introductory idea of how to diagnose your listing.